So, hi guys, this is Navdeep from Delhi Immigration Services. Today we have Mr. Imteyaz with us. Mr. Imteyaz is a Saudi Arabian resident. He applied for Canada student visa, after one refusal, I think, and he got the visa. And we'll just talk to him and see how his experience was, specifically, being a Saudi Arabian resident, how he managed to get the visa for the Canada. So, hi, Mr. Imteyaz, how's you doing today, sir?
Hi, Mr. Navdeep. I'm doing completely fine, Alhamdulillah. I'm doing fine.
All right. So, can you talk us through your background? Because I'm pretty much interested in your journey overall.
Okay,
Can you talk us about your academic and everything? Yeah.
sure. Basically, I'm born and raised in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. So I studied here till my inter second year. And after that, I wanted to pursue my career towards engineering. So I opted for electrical and electronic engineering in Malaysia, which is a 4 year undergraduate program. So once I was finished with it,
In
then
which year have you completed, sir? I'm sorry to interrupt.
uh, basically I've completed in 2019 of November. Yeah. Just before the pandemic started, like 3 months ago, you can count with that.
So afterwards, have you started working, or you completed the IELTS and you tried for the Canada student
Uh,
visa? Right?
Basically, I completed IELTS before my graduation, which was back in August 2019. And after my graduation, I came back to Saudi Arabia, and basically, my main plan was to like travel in the beginning of January for winter term. But I delayed it luckily, and unfortunately, the pandemic started in March.
Yeah.
So yeah, due to the pandemic, then I've tried to apply to like I have applied for Windsor, and luckily they gave me a seat, and it was a good opportunity. But still, I couldn't process my visa because they were not like accredited for the quarantine plan by the Ontario.
Okay. So, so for the first time, you applied for which program,
Yeah,
sir? Yeah.
yeah.
And for
Okay.
which?
Basically, I actually applied to three places. The first one was University of Saskatchewan, and the second one was University of Regina, and the third one was University of Windsor. In University of Saskatchewan, I applied for a master's in electrical and electronic engineering, but specialization in power engineering systems. And they looked throughout my profile and everything, and they gave me a reply that I will be able to grab a seat in next semester, not in the semester I wanted. So I skipped it, and then I before applying to University of Regina, I filled a form. Like in the form, they basically ask you about all your qualification and any research that you have done in the past and previous works. But they checked everything for me, and they told me the same thing that I'll be able to get a seat in 2021 uh, fall
January.
term, which
For
was
21
yeah, yeah,
September.
which they told me back in 2019. But when I applied for Windsor, luckily I got a reply from them quickly within like a month or a half. They told me that I can come to them by 2021 summer summer program.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you applied for which specific programs are at University of Windsor?
Basically, specific program electrical and computer engineering with in masters.
Masters.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, masters.
So you applied for the first time from Saudi Arabia. Like, how was the case?
Okay, basically, me, I have a habit of researching everything online, and I just like to do things by myself to learn as well. So I was just looking for universities, and I was going through all of the stuff, and luckily, I found these three universities which actually suited to my profile because my main interest is towards power engineering and renewable energy systems. So luckily, I found it out, and I just applied to them. I made my own statements, and I gave them my published journal uh, copy, and I gave them my grades and everything. And luckily, University of Windsor came back to me with a faster reply, and they asked me to reserve my seat in the
So
university.
you applied for the admission on your own and
Yeah, yeah,
got
completely.
it through. So about the visa, sir, when you applied for the first time,
Yeah,
so you applied for the visa application
yeah.
from Saudi Arabia, or like how was it?
Mm. Okay, actually, this was a weird experience. You know what happened? Basically, everyone back here prefers BFS. to help you like to apply for any visa. So I went to VFS and I talked to them about it, and they just gave me some simple requirements with some bank statements and accounts and everything. And I said okay. Then I had to go to account and make like get past 6 months account statement, like write my own SOPs and provide all the accreditation that is necessary in the required blank in the application form. But I didn't do any medical test, to be honest with you, that time, because it was not mandatory for us if you're a non-SDS student.
Yeah.
Then I just applied through them, and luckily they didn't actually reply me for a quite long time. So that is the time I actually got a reference from my cousin. He told me that it's much better if you apply through SDS program, which will try like which will help you to secure your visa within 20 consecutive days. So I said, okay, that is perfect for me. Then what I did is, as soon as the pandemic like declined a bit, I traveled to India because by then I was, handling some work over here in
Yeah.
Riyadh. So I traveled to India in March, and then I came. And the second time, I actually what I did was like I went through the SDS procedure, and I had to make my account. I had to transfer some amount to the for GIC certificate. Then everything went again. But basically, what happened this time was that, to be honest with you, I guess the SOP was weak. Yes, that was the main factor which affected the application. But
So,
apart from that,
so yeah. So for the first time when you applied with the help of VFS in Saudi
hmm,
Arabia itself, and it took long time. So
hmm,
then you withdrawn the application as soon as you
yeah,
okay
yes. Because
withdrawn it, and then you okay.
I don't know if it's like if it's just a saying or is it true. But I personally feel like no matter how many times you apply, maybe 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, if your application just hits the right point, it will get approved. That's what I personally feel. And that's what I have been through actually. That is the main reason I came to India to apply and
Yeah.
look out for a
So,
professional assistant.
so then you came to India. Was
Yeah.
that also in your mind that, because when you apply from Saudi Arabia, so
Mm-hmm.
there's a new law, as I think you may be aware about Saudiization, which visa officers sometimes consider while taking the decision, which basically, decrease the overall success rate if you're applying from Saudi Arabia. So was that also in your mind when you tried moving
Okay.
back to India?
Basically, in my case, what I felt was that, like, when it comes to the income and business and any other thing as a proof which I can provide, it was quite sufficient for me because, in a way, my mother was also a government health worker, and my father and mother both are resided in that they have resided in Saudi Arabia for you can say more than 20 years. So, like, I could have provided them proper like proof and everything, but still, at the end of the day, I guess your citizenship counts a lot. So
Exactly.
it's better. So it's better to go back to your country. Like you have your own base, because for us, mostly our base is back in our hometown. To be honest,
Got it. So you moved
so
back
always
to
be an.
India. Okay, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry to interrupt.
No
So you
problem.
moved to India to apply, and then you applied. Like, how was that
Yeah.
experience?
Okay. That was actually new for me because I have never actually been to banks in India, back in India, and made my own account. Then I went to HDFC directly. I made my own account, and then I had to actually move a lot, for medical checkup, for bank statements, for a chartered accountant report, which which was suggested by you to for me, and I applied that time. But the only thing that actually reflected my application, actually when I applied that time, I got the uh, answer back in exactly 15 days, which was in the mid of April.
So
So
you
yeah.
applied through some agent, or you applied on your own
Yeah,
from India?
uh, yeah. Basically, what happened? I have a, you can say mostly like he's my friend. So I took his assistance to see how it goes, and at the part where I needed the SOP, because definitely when it comes to SDS and non-SDS program, the document requirement is quite different. So SDS part, he actually sorted out things for me, and he even gave me an SOP as a reference, which I have utilized to portray in my own words. But still, I applied after that, and he was also waiting for it. I was waiting for it. Then I saw it, and there was only one reason that it didn't work out. The reason was that the officer was not satisfied that I will be returning back to my home country as soon as I finish my education. Yeah.
So then, how did you hear about us and you boiled down
Okay.
to us?
Okay. Basically, I was actually searching through internet and looking out. Then I have some of my friends. They are actually in Delhi, and some of them are in Gurgaon. So I talked to them. I asked them, and they told me like you can search and see, because there are many agents, to be honest, in India. In
Exactly.
every corner of the street, you will find someone who is actually helping you as a consultant. But the thing is that very rare among them are like really legit who can help you to, get your objective. So then I searched, then I saw you, I saw your videos previously as well, in which you have stated like how the procedure goes, how the thing goes. Then I was like, what I thought is that definitely my profile was not weak, Alhamdulillah. But maybe I made some minor mistake which actually have made a difference in the processing part. So I was like, okay, let me speak to you. And luckily, I emailed your organization, and some of them, like one of them, I think they referred me to you. And after that, we started having conversation, and then you gave me suggestions like how the process should be, how should it go, and the SOP is definitely like worked by you. So definitely that thing affected it a lot, and it made it work out for me. Fortunately, thankful. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So while searching for the, as you mentioned, like you did a lot of research about finding
Mm-hmm.
that needle in the dark. So how was that experience? Like, did you speak to other people also? How was that
Okay.
experience?
Basically, I wasn't actually speaking to other people at all, because I when I started scrolling through internet, I used to see like how the person who is portraying about his organization has the type of body language that he is portraying himself. So in that way, I used to figure out like, because you see, basically, you can always figure out the difference between an uh, well-educated and uneducated person, right? So that's how I figured out like you sounded like more professional to me, to be honest with you, and ethical as well. So I was like, okay, let me try to speak to you and see how it goes, because I think you're the first actually agent I've actually referred to like professionally. So then it went fine. Luckily, you see me now.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember. I think once I spoke to your father also.
Yeah,
Accidentally called and
definitely.
probably you were not there. So then we had a conversation. So he was also very supportive. I understand in ensuring that like you're able to get through and everything. So the parental support is also very important.
Definitely, definitely.
Uh,
It's the
so uh, So it took some time, I understand. I mean, we applied and it took again some time to, I guess, to get the
yeah.
decision. So what exactly you were doing when you saw that notification that, okay, there's some update in the GIC account and I need to check, and there was PPR. So what were you
Okay.
doing at that time?
Actually, the main thing was that I had to actually come back to my second home country, and as you know, there were many travel restrictions going on. So basically, the first update I got was on 22nd of June, in which they stated like my medical has not been approved, and also my background check is under process.
Yeah.
And luckily, as soon as I got that email, I was quite assured that it should be fine, because basically what I see most of the people, like, I read Quora, to be honest with you. So when I see most of the people and their their information, most of them says that their visa is rejected maximum in 15 to 20 days. But
Yeah.
I'm not aware, how it goes, because you never know how the situation is. So I was like, okay, maybe it's a good luck charm for me. Then I just waited, and luckily on 2 weeks ago, to be exact, on Thursday morning, I received an email. Actually, I tried to access it, but I couldn't. So I sent it to you to access it for me. And by evening, I saw your email. Then I was like, "Mashallah, I'm lucky enough, that I got the opportunity finally." Because to be honest with you, I skipped like January, May, and yeah, this is September, and the
Mhm.
university is also really supportive, to be honest with
Yeah.
you, because in the university terms and conditions, you can only defer yourself once, but they helped me defer twice because in January it was impossible for me to travel due to pandemic last year January. And
Exactly.
yeah, so
So when you got that email from our side that okay, it is the
yeah,
PPRs, then what
yeah,
did you the first thing? Like, did you inform your family? Like, how was that
yeah.
reaction?
Basically, first what I did is I thank God to actually like give me the opportunity to then after that I just informed my family. I guess that I informed them the next day. I didn't inform them the same day because on the first day I wanted to keep it to myself and keep it
Yeah.
with me and feel it. And I was like, okay. Then I informed them the next day. They all were happy and they were actually praising you as well. Like the guidance you provided was really on point. On point. Yeah.
So there's so many other applicants also who are probably from Saudi Arabia also. Like sometimes they contact us, and they also try figuring out like if they can apply for the Canada student visa and get through. So you are a perfect example for them that you tried and you've gone through it. And so would there be any advice for them, somebody who is also
Yeah,
like was not
uh,
aware about everything? So
definitely I would like to advise them. The first thing I will say is that if applying for a visa, they better come to India and apply for it if they are Indian citizens. Okay.
yeah,
And the second thing is that I will advise them to choose the programs carefully and university as well. Because it's like not only going and getting settled back in Canada, it's like after you study and if you study from a good university, it provides you with a good opportunity, you know. And visa assistance, I will definitely suggest them to come and take your help because that will be a really plus point for them because the more refusals you have, the more complicated things will be. So it's
yeah,
not about
and
money. It's like
yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's like if they just come to you and if you guide them through, I guess they should be fine.
Somebody who wants to do still they want to do it on their own, so would there be any piece of advice that that you learned through the processing, like maybe this is how the SOP should be, this document should be there?
Okay,
So yeah.
basically on their own. Okay, if they want to do it on their own, I will prefer them to select the universities and apply to it if they think they have the capability of doing it. No problem. But
Yeah.
when it comes to the visa assistance and application, I would say try to take a professional help because the main point which really affects is that you need a SOP. Yeah, if your SOP is really well like written and it's providing you information within a short note, then it
Yeah.
will be fine. Because mostly people in SOP, I have seen some examples of SOP before writing my own SOP. I have seen like people they write a lot of stuff which is unnecessary and not
Irrelevant.
needed. Yeah,
Exactly.
irrelevant piece of information. But they forget to write like what is more relevant, which will assist them to actually win the visa officer's like confidence. Because Canada's visa application basically they don't have interview process, so it completely relies on your SOPs. That's what I've been. Yeah.
Exactly. So, would you like to give advice about to someone who wants to improve the SOP in some or the other way? Because you've seen the previous SOP also and the one which we prepared. So, would there be any piece of advice which you like to suggest or give?
Yeah, basically, I will just say that come to Mr. Nabjeeb and get your SOP done. Because the thing is that as a student, there is always a difference between a experienced and a non-experienced guy,
Yeah.
and I'm sure, like mashallah, you have very good experience. You have written thousands of SOPs, and definitely you will be able to help the student based on his accreditations and his knowledge, as well as his main important factor, I guess, what plays is grades, because that will also help you to acquire your visa. So basically, if they come to you directly, they should be on the good side, and you will be able to assist them definitely because your service is really, compatible.
And one last question is, would
Sure,
you
sure.
like, as you mentioned that people should try applying from India if they're Indian nationals, not from Saudi Arabia. So,
Mm.
uh, you know, so why should they do like this? Like, is there anything which is more concerning? I
Okay.
mentioned about the Saudiization, I understand, but is there anything else which you are aware of, which you feel that
Actually, the thing is that Saudization, to be honest with you, doesn't really play an important role in this process. What really matters is that if you're a permanent resident or not of a country where you're applying for. Because I have seen some people I know, they stated that they have been refused on the basis of immigration status as well. So basically, immigration status refers to the country you're staying in. So
yeah, your
I would
ties to
always,
Saudi Arabia? Yeah, yeah, exactly.
yeah, so I will always suggest that to go to your own country, because if you go to your own country, the maximum last reason to refusal for you might be like the officer is not satisfied, you might come back. That's it. But the immigration status is the only reason like you might get if you're in another country and you're a citizen of another country applying to a third country. That's it.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for taking time and having a chat
Yeah,
with me. I'm
yeah,
so happy that you've got it, and
yeah. True, true.
I appreciate your support also throughout in terms of patience and in terms of inputs that you've given. So I'm so happy that you've got it, and I wish you great luck for your life
Thank
in
you, thank
Canada,
you.
for your future. I trust that you'll do great. And thank you so much for taking time. So, would you like to say anything before we end this call? And you know, in case of any more
Yeah,
questions, you're welcome to contact us. Yeah.
yeah. Basically, what I would like to tell everyone is that just don't give up, try hard, and if there is a refusal for you, don't think like you won't be able to make it. Definitely, you'll be able to make it because I have seen people with 7 refusals even getting a visa. So you will definitely make it up and go to Delhi Immigration Services. They will assist you in getting any help. Like they will help you to get your visa and program that suit your it actually depends on how it goes on your side. So I will completely suggest students to never give up. Basically, just don't lose hope. There is always a hope. Yeah,
That's a great advice. Sir. That's a great. That's what we
yeah,
also believe in, and I think we are on the same page. Thank you so much,
definitely.
and I wish you great luck again. And I am so happy that I've got it. In case of any more
Thank you very
questions, you're
much.
most welcome to get in
Yeah,
touch. We'll be in
definitely,
touch to assist
definitely.
for.
Actually, sorry to interrupt, but I would like to thank you as well for having a good conversation with me and giving me courage like it will work out. So that is actually the main thing a person needs when he's actually stressed, like some courage and some assistance from someone. So that's what you were to me. So it was a really great experience, having you by my side. Yeah,
Pleasure working with you as well, sir. I mean, you've been a
yeah,
great
yeah.
support as well. Thank you so
Definitely.
much, and I'm
You
so
too.
happy again. Wish you great luck.
Me
I
too.
suppose I
Same
hope
here.
your family will also be very very happy, and yeah. So we'll
Definitely.
be in touch, no problem. And I wish you great luck again.
Definitely.
And
Thank
thank
you.
you for taking time to have the conversation.
You
Yeah.
too. Thank
Thank
you very much. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
you. You too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Yeah. Bye bye.